Why now for your memoir? What made right now so special and so important for you to release this?
First of all, thank you, man. I'm super excited about Dwyane. My second book, my first photographic memoir, and I've been working on this for the last 3 years since my last season. I actually started working on this in 2019. This was a part of the three things I wanted to do to wrap up my career. I wanted to do the Last Dance. I wanted to do the documentary, and I wanted to put out this photographic memoir. My photographer, Bobby Metellus, has been following me since probably 2010, and we've been getting a lot of moments. I got like 2 million photos, I'm sure, and to be able to try to go through, pick 200 photos or more, and trying to tell stories of all those photos and trying to pick the right ones to tell the right stories was a very difficult process, and it took longer. But right now is because for me, I wanted to get this out before I turned 40. The name of the book is called Dwyane for a reason, because I'm trying to shed the D Wade and the Flash part of it. There's always going to be a part of me, but I'm much more than the D Wade and the Flash, the athlete part. And I'm moving into the next phase, and 40 is the next phase, and I'm moving into Dwyane.
There was a line, confidence is the precursor to dominance. I thought that spoke a lot. What does that mean to you now in your next phase, like you said, Dwyane, and also throughout your career and your life?
Yeah, man. I think, to be as great as you are, you understand what confidence means, right? So for me, my confidence in life, and I talk about this at the end of my book. I wrote a poem, but I talk about the importance of basketball on so many aspects of me as a young man, right? I found my voice through basketball. I learned how not to be fearless through basketball. And so through confidence is what is through the work is where you build your confidence. And so for me, I always put in the work to build the confidence to dominance, right? If I wanted to be great, I knew I had to work more than what was slotted of me to do. And so from that line right there was really just what I tell my son all the time is it hard to be great at a basketball? Yes. Is it hard to be good at basketball? Yes. But if God had given you a talent, a natural ability, it's on you to work that ability. It's on you to put that work in to become great at whatever the level of your talent and capabilities you have. And so that's what that meant to me.
There was a part where you were sitting with LeBron working out. I think it was right before one of the Spurs final series.
Yeah, the final. Yeah, 2013.
When you look back and you see, obviously now you're, the audience and fans are able to see those moments. Take me back to that moment. What did you feel when you saw that? What were your biggest takeaways from those moments, those years?
Man, that's a beautiful moment. I remember that night. We were getting ready for game one, and we had, practice that day and everything. And it was just, Brian and I was talking about just being sharp for game one. And, normally you go back to the gym or normally you watch film, but this day we just needed something different. He was like, yo, at the time, David Alexander, who later became my trainer, he was doing some boxing stuff. And we was like, yo, let's go work out. And so we get there, and I'm thinking it's just going to be a workout to kind of like, do our thing, kind of just get ourselves mentally ready. I didn't know it was going to be a physical draining push of a workout. And we worked out so hard that night that photo was us laying on the ground at the end. And it was like, it's no way we're going to put this much work in a night before the game, and we're not going to come out there tomorrow and use all of this force on game one. Now, we might have lost game one. I don't even remember, but that was just getting us mentally, physically ready for what we was about to go through. This was our third finals in a row. We needed to push ourselves and find motivation in different places, and we found it that night.
LeBron, he's still playing at a high level. I think he's even cited Tom Brady, I think, as an inspiration. How do you feel like he can keep playing at that level and being past 40, 45, whatever it takes?
I have no idea. We haven't seen this. And so I think we all now are on the train of keep going, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's at the point, it's like you did in Miami. We like, well, just keep going. Like, do something that no one has done before. And so watching LeBron, and I told him this when I retired, I said, you're going to play so long that people are going to forget that we even played together, right? Like, that's how long you're going to play. I'm just trying to enjoy it as long as I can before he's on this side with me and we're drinking too much wine together.
You're an owner now, part owner of the Utah Jazz. What was that like for you to be on that, on that side of it, and also being close to a guy like Donovan Mitchell, who's obviously you guys have a close relationship, and building out that side of it as well?
You go through life and you say, I just want to get drafted. I just want to make a team. Then you get on that team, you be like, I like to get an all-star game, right? It's like you go through these different things and like you want to be a champion, you want to be a Hall of Famer. And so to reach the pinnacle of the sport and to get all those accolades, what else can you do in the sport of basketball? And the top level is ownership. And so to be able to be 39 years old and to be able to be a part of an amazing ownership group, like Smith Entertainment Group, for me, I feel lucky. I feel honored because I'm going to learn so much about business, so much about the game of basketball. And hopefully along this process, I can teach ownership and players how to merge this. It's too much separation in ownership and players. It's too much, too many middle people. I think we all need to figure out a way to really make this all a partnership. And the relationship I have with Donovan and the relationship that Ryan has with Donovan allows us to start trying to see if we can bridge a gap between star players and ownership and don't make it a huge separation.
And how do you go about that, right? Because I think a lot of people, when you get into Utah, they look at you as kind of that steward for Donovan, a guy that can keep them happy in Utah. But how do you, merge that perspective of, I'm there and we can bridge the gap between players, star players, and owners?
Well, I hope they don't put that pressure on me. I can't keep Donovan happy. What's going to keep Donovan happy is the players that we're able to put around and how much that we're able to, continue to help him reach the levels that he wants to go to. I think the best way to do it is this is about to be the simplest answer that you hear today: communication. It's all about communication. It's a lot of communication breakdown in the sport, right? And some as simple as communicating your wants and your needs and what's working and what's not working from both sides, from all sides.
Your son now, Dwyane Wade, is playing for their G League affiliate, Salt Lake City. I'm sure you're so proud as a father, right? But what is that advice that you give him, and how proud are you as a father, first and foremost?
Man, I'm so proud, and Sham, why I'm proud is that, my son, who I've always believed in the talents of my son, he's had a few injuries. He's had a few bad breaks. And to be able to devise a plan and for him to be able to trust in me and Chris Johnson, his trainer, to devise this plan to prepare him to be a pro at the age of 19 years old, I'm proud of him. I'm thankful for him for trusting me in this process. And I'm also thankful for the Salt Lake City Stars for seeing a young guy who has talent that is in the process of needing development and wanting to put him in a system to see if he can develop in our system or see if he can develop if someone else sees his greatness, hopefully. So there's nothing else I can do from this point. Everything else is on him, and he wouldn't want it any different.
When you did retire, was there a lot of things you might have had to deal with, whether it was trying to figure out from a mental perspective or a physical perspective, how do I, move past playing and figuring out the next phase?
Yeah, it is, man, it's tough, man. I got drafted at 21 years old. I was retired by 37. I'm a young man in life. And, unless I decide to go back into basketball and be a coach or, do something like that, I haven't had time really to gain a lot of experience in other areas. I've been an expert here and I put all my time here. So it's scary retiring from that standpoint. You don't have a lot of experience in business, in life, in that sense, right? And so even though I had things going for myself, even though I retired and I got kind of, they opened the door for me and I walked out and they slammed it when I left. I left out with 3 championship rings. I still had 6 months where I had no idea what was next for me, what I was going to do, what was going to be that thing that got me out of bed every day, that made me want to work my butt off and sacrifice to become great at it. And I'm still searching for it. But right now, like I said, I took 6 months off and I said, you know what, we got to figure it out. And I have an amazing team. That sat down with me and said, okay, what are some of the things you think you want to do? And we started at TV and we kind of went from there. And so to be blessed enough to be on TNT, to be blessed enough to have a show where I host on the Cube and all the other things that I've been able to do in my 3rd year retiring, I don't take it for granted, but I have a lot more work to do. And but it's hard. Basketball was actually easy. This is hard. So I look forward to the challenge.